All right. In today's video, we're gonna unbox the Qidi Plus 4. Oh, jeez, it's heavy. Team lit. Oh, I guess that was pretty stupid. How am I gonna get it out of there? Okay, we are gonna unbox the Plus 4. Ooh, it's pretty big. Why won't this come out of there? Okay, we have a... Ooh, glass. Fancy. All the other ones I have are all straight plastic, which isn't super bad, but glass is fancy. I don't know where this came from. Oh, this must be from shipping. It's just like a little rubber silicone bumper. Okay, so there's handles to pull it out, but the S1 almost killed me, so I'm gonna glance at the instructions first, like a normal smart human would do. Okay, the door's attached, so it's not gonna fall on my ankle. There are accessories in the bottom of the carton. Oh! All right, accessories. I believe that's everything. Is it metal? Nope. One of my big complaints of the other Qidi, sorry I'm saying that wrong, machines was they all kind of look like microwaves and the designs of them aren't the best. But just glancing at this one on like online, it actually doesn't look that bad. So hopefully they're making them look a little more cool. But again, all I really care about is it prints well, but I mean, it also helps that they look good. Glass! None of my other ones have glass, so that's a step up. Ooh, okay. I'm already seeing a few things I like. So I really nitpicked the Q1 Pro because the printer's great and it prints well. But there's a lot of things that I just felt were very overlooked, as in like they made it but never actually used it. So I'm hoping they took some feedback from not just me, but like users and creators in general on how to improve these printers. One thing I really didn't like was the build plate didn't have any alignment tabs, so you could like put it on there all weird. And if it wasn't perfect, it would be a little high in certain areas and you mess up your plate. And that's just like such a simple fix. Also, one thing I complained about was the power switch on the back, and the big plug was in the way to reach around and get it. So when it's on my racking, it's super hard to turn off. So it either needs a power button or something on the side. And already I can see there's a power button on the side because you can actually reach it, and the switch is actually in front of the cord plug. You don't gotta like finagle around it. So already we're looking pretty good. It also has these handles in here. I love how they have everything labeled on here. So like, sure they include a manual, but not everyone looks at a manual. Some people are just not that bright and like reading like me and open it and try to figure it out versus actually looking at the manual. So it's good that all this stuff is labeled. Even when I was pulling it out of the box, there was like stickers on top like, hey, check this before you do this, because I'm gonna mess it up, I promise. Ooh, it's even got a nice little Qidi Plus 4 on the bottom. Okay, so like initial impressions, it's a little boxy, but I think I have the Qidi Q1 Pro and the X Max 3, and out of those printers, I think this so far is the best looking one. It is a little bulky. Their printers are kind of known to be a little clunky, like size-wise, but not a big deal. Okay, build plate, nice gold PEI, two-sided, moment of truth. Ooh, okay. So they added alignment tabs in the back corner, which is such an easy fix. It's literally just molded plastic. So all you gotta do is add them little high spots. Falls right in place. And then the size, the build plate is 305 by 305 by 280. That's probably not the exact build size because them are usually a little bit larger than what the actual print area is, but that's pretty big. Pretty sure they're coming out with multicolor. But how does this work? Is there a poop chute? Oh, there's a poop chute. Okay, so one thing, with the Q1 Pro, they added a little container on the inside for it to purge into, and I just feel like they were testing things out for future multicolor printing. But the problem was that poop chute was just way back in there, and it was pretty small. So if you're doing any sort of like large multicolor print, that thing's gonna fill up instantly. So like I just didn't feel like that was a great design. Versus this, it craps it out the back, which like the Bambu's is I think a pretty good design. Because having it in here is just, how are you gonna empty that when it's printing? You just can't. You know what I didn't see? I didn't see a roll of filament. Oh, this is their filament. Come on. Give me at least a quarter half roll. Okay, so this is the stuff we need to assemble it. Power cord. Ah. So they still didn't change this, but it's not the worst. I don't hate it. I'd rather have it. I'll just show you what this is in a second. Okay, let's get all this out of here. Don't know what that is. I don't see an extra hot end. Oh, this is the handle. I'm dumb. Okay. Instructions. Look at the instructions. The handle's metal. This feels like aluminum. Another minor complaint I had about the Q1 Pro was it didn't really have much of a handle. Like this has a legit handle to open. I also appreciate the glass. The glass looks nice. They did send me this to review. I honestly don't know how much it costs. I'll have to look that up. I'm assuming it's like $600-700. I like the nice metal handle. It feels nice. All right, nice and straight. And doors, like, it's soft close isn't the right word, but it's got tension on it, so you can't just like fling it open and shatter it. So far, I really don't have any complaints. Oh, we do have a camera. There is a camera in here. Okay. It's got to be heated, right? All the Qidi printers are heated. Chamber heating kit. So this is the chamber heater, which is attached to a fan? Okay. Oh, and this is different. This is on the back. All right. This is looking like a pretty good printer, I'll be honest. Honestly, and like, and unboxings are tough because I'm just giving my initial impressions of this printer. I could honestly hate this thing in 3 weeks. I doubt it because I like their other printers and they seem to have made the necessary upgrades to make this a better printer. So I doubt I'm gonna dislike it. But again, you know, take everything with a grain of salt because I haven't actually used it for an extended period of time yet. After we get it set up, I'll do a couple prints, and then after that, I like to put about 100 hours or so through it, and then I'll do like, you know, another full-length video on how I feel about it. Okay, the display looks nice. I'm not even gonna use this. This is pretty useless. So it says to plug it in. I'm gonna cut all this stuff first because I don't get wire snippers either. No wire snippers? Okay, then we're just gonna cut all this stuff up here. Just zip ties. Oh, interesting. So that looks like we got a filament cutter there. Okay, so I'm noticing we have a fan here, and there's also a fan inside here. That looks like a proximity thing for auto leveling. Also, another thing I'm noticing here is we got the felt pad. Well, it's not even felt. I don't know what that is. We have this pad here, and then this one here for cleaning the nozzle. And then this here is a filament cutter. Okay, so we're gonna get this stuff unscrewed and fire this baby up. Okay, 4 screws removed. All right, let's plug it in. Oh, cool, so it does walk you through all this on the display apparently. Let's get you in a little closer. Okay, we are doing English. Remove all zip ties. 2 zip ties removed. So I love that they have this little walkthrough here. For new users, this makes it so easy. I removed the 4 screws from the build plate. About to move platform. We are moving. This is great. The startup sequence is super easy. Let's figure this thing out. Okay, so I'm gonna, while this does this thing, I'm just gonna attach this. It's just four screws. It's nothing crazy. I wonder if this is auto tension. Like back here, there's slots for these pulleys, and they don't look like auto tension, but the Q1 Pro was an auto tension machine. Where's the, okay, so here is where the filament goes in. All right, filament tube. We gotta load filament. I don't know exactly how I feel about this, but it's not on the back, so to me that's a win. Nozzle temp, let's just do 220, because this is PLA. I'm intrigued with their heater, because the last heaters that I've had were just like a heater in the back, versus this, it appears it moves the heat around. Heating up pretty fast, 190, 200. So this essentially just, this is useless at this point because it's all the same as what's on here. Okay, we are heated. That was quick. Click load and keep pushing until filament comes out of the nozzle. Okay, so it's pulling it. There we go. Okay, let's just do one more to make sure. I wish the bed wasn't quite so high right now. Next. Congrats. You're done. Okay, so let's see. We got to have a benching. We didn't, no updates? Let's do the network. Don't look. Okay, we have Wi-Fi. Whew. So far the screen, like touch-wise, seems just fine. I'm trying to see, check for updates. Let's do the update before we run anything, just to, you know, give it its best possible chance for success. All right, first issue. I tried to do the update and it failed 3 times. So I'll try to do that manually. I'll see if we can find it online, and if not, I'll just reach out to Qidi. They're usually pretty helpful. So we're just gonna run this thing and print a benchy. All right, so she's running input shaping. I did find the Qidi software update, so I'll do that manually with the flash drive and see if that works. I'll do that later though, I'm not gonna do that now. After it does the input shaping, I'm gonna get the software running. I don't see an Orca profile, so I'll figure that out later as well. But yeah, give this a couple minutes and then we'll do the benchy. Okay, so let's print a benchy. Delayed photography, I don't know what that means. We just did bed leveling, so we'll skip that. Oh, I don't know what that said, but okay. Okay, let's see how the startup sequence goes. Has the same like little squishy fingers. They're just like rubber. Bambu has that. The Creality has that. On that one over there on the right, it almost looks like a little piece of a PEI sheet that it rubs the nozzle on, kind of like it does on most printers in the back there. Purge and filament. So I don't hate this. I'm gonna need a little bit more space, I think, because it's pretty tall. But you know, it seems relatively easy to swap. Okay, we're moving, it's rubbing its nozzle on the little baby PEI sheet piece. So it says a 14-minute benchy. Nozzle heats quick. It's gonna heat to 210. And then probably start ripping. Got a little schmutz hanging out there. See it dangling? Okay, here we go. So the bottom looks like crap, but the top looks good. So we're just gonna let it finish, then I'll just do another one because maybe it was just a filament. I don't know. So it's the following day. I ran out of time. I just had other obligations. We left off with a crappy Benchy, and I couldn't do the update. I did the update. I had to use the flash drive, but it worked great. So I'm assuming from here on out they'll work over the internet. I've had that happen with a couple other printers where the first one needed a manual update and then the future ones worked. So printer is fully up to date. This Benchy looks like crap. As you can see, that Z seam is just ugly, but over here it looks good. So this is just regular Sunlu PLA, and this is PLA Rapido. So it's I think it's just programmed too fast for the regular PLA. So we're gonna switch filament, run this pigtail to make sure the stock Benchy looks good, and then I'll print something with the regular PLA with like settings I set. Okay, filament. Replace filament. So it does have a filament cutter because I'm pretty sure they're coming out with multicolor. So let's see how this works here. That was loud. I don't know what that was. Okay, so it cleared the filament. I hate these. These are ridiculous. They're just always a tangled mess. Benchy is done. It looks better, but it's not the best looking Benchy. But also, like, everyone's trying to have a high speed Benchy nowadays, so 23 minutes. I'm assuming that includes the startup. Even this one still has kind of a ugly Z seam on it. I think they just kind of have it set up too fast for that pre-sliced file. This is Sunlu PLA. You can see like up on the top there, it's not bad. Like that looks pretty good up there. I stopped it, it didn't fail. I stopped it, but you know, that looks pretty good. And this is the Rapido PLA. You see that Z seam, still pretty ugly, but like overall, you know, like up here and stuff, it looks fine. Still right there, you know, see that seam just don't look the best. That looks pretty good. I'll give it a grade A. Decent. All right, so I'm gonna get a file loaded in here. I'm gonna put the other filament back in, run a pre-sliced generic PLA profile that I sliced and see how that does. All right, we're running. Let's see what happens. So I did do an auto leveling, but I didn't do like the bed level calibration where I manually adjust it, but you can come in here and adjust the Z height. I had to make it a little bit closer to get a little more smoosh, but overall it looked fine. And then when sending files to the printer, I have no idea what's going on this screen. It's just like blank and white and some boxes checked, but I have no idea what it does. But sending files is pretty easy with the Qidi slicer. Hopefully they come out with the Orca profile ASAP. Then I printed this orange pumpkin out of Sunlu PLA, and the sports came off pretty rough, but they did come off completely with some force. I also didn't adjust anything. I'll try lowering the temp, and if that doesn't work, I'll adjust the spacing between the supports and the material. And then here's a quick look at the camera. It doesn't look bad. I think it looks just fine. Nothing crazy. I mean, you're just checking it to check on the prints. You're doing time lapses anyway, so I think it's clear enough for my needs anyway. All right, let's take a look at these. So I printed this canister out of that Sunlu PLA I used before. Overall, looks pretty good. Then I went ahead and tried to print this little container with threads just to see how I'd print those. I printed this one like perfectly, and then I printed this one like crap. So then I switched the orientation from printing outside in just because the threads were kind of just like floating. And I printed it decent, but then I got this ugly Z seam. But I didn't really tune it at all. I just switched a couple settings. Then we got this thing. I didn't print any supports. I just want to see how it handled this steep ridge. And honestly, like, for as steep as it is, it's not the worst. We got some weird stuff on the top there. But if you actually look at like this Z seam, super clean. The back of this, that's super clean. So for not tuning it, I'm overall not too disappointed in it. Then I printed this pumpkin out of just orange PLA. Supports came out a little rough, but they did come out. But I didn't tune anything. I just pretty much ran it and changed the temp. But overall, the pumpkin itself looks pretty good. So overall, first impressions of the printer, I think it's pretty good so far. I like a lot of the changes they made with this from the Q1 Pro. Even though it's a different printer, they still took the steps to make it a better printer. I did get one clog or jam up when I was switching filament, and then I was able to free it up by manually loading it, and it eventually pushed through. And then for printing, I'm gonna have to tune a little bit of the filaments. Overall, the prints don't look the worst, but also not the best, but you're probably gonna have to tune stuff either way. I really hope they get Orca Slicer up and running because that's just what I prefer. It's what I run all my other printers on it. I'm sure they will because I run Orca through the Q1 Pro and the X-Max 3. And yeah, their slicer's fine, but just not my favorite. Another downside, it doesn't come with the nozzle. I feel like all printers should come with a second nozzle just because it's like a consumable item, but again, not a huge deal. I'm gonna go ahead and tune some filaments, go through and get this thing tuned up the best I can, and then I'll run some ABS through it. I think I have some polycarbonate. I run some ASA through it, and then a bunch of PLA, and then we'll check back with a new video. Hope you guys all enjoy the video. If you have any recommendations you'd like me to do or try with this printer, let me know, and I'll include that in the next video. And thank you all for watching.